Right, Guitar at Day, episode 10. This is a tale of what happens when you start being able to access music shops over the internet. This is a 1998 crafted in Japan Fender Telecaster 72 Thinline reissue. Back in '98, the internet was really starting to get into full swing, and I was on a few guitar-related discussion pages. And one of those was the Telecaster discussion page. It might have been the Telecaster discussion page reissue by that time. To be honest, I can't remember, and I don't really care. So, at some point in '98, the Japanese economy, there is a point to this, the Japanese economy was struggling, and the Japanese currency was down against most currencies. So there began a feeding frenzy on the Telecaster discussion page reissue for Japanese Fenders, specifically sourced from Ishibashi Music, who were one of the first of the Japanese vendors who managed to get a decent internet presence. Now these days, ordering something is straightforward. You've got multiple payment methods, secure payment gateways, PayPal, all sorts of options. Back in those days, it wasn't as straightforward. I remember having to install Microsoft Fax software and then having to send an email with half of my credit card details to Ishibashi and then a fax with the other half of my credit card details so that they weren't all in one encrypted place at once. This was all in the days of the steam-driven internet, so steam, no, I suppose it was clockwork. Everything was on a 58A modem. But anyhow, the order went through, I got confirmation, I got shipping details, and about a week later, I got a postcard from Post Malaysia saying that this thing was sitting waiting for me at the Malaysian Airlines at MAS Cargo, which in those days was still in Subang, at the old Kuala Lumpur airport, the Sultan Abdulaziz Shah one. So the first chance I got, which was the next Saturday morning, I jumped in a taxi and went all the way down there and processed the paperwork, got this thing through customs inspection, paid my 5% sales tax on it, and then had to find a way home, which was a story in of itself, because it's easy enough to get in a taxi out to the middle of nowhere. It's not a lot of fun getting one back. I ended up walking about 2 kilometres to a place where they actually had buses. But anyhow, this here is a copy of the Thinline Telly model, which was originally issued in 1972, hence the name, 72 Thinline reissue. It has an ash body, which is made of, as far as I can tell, about 4 pieces of wood. You can see there's at least 2 pieces on the front and 2 pieces on the back, and they're not centre joined. The grain pattern on the back is absolutely magnificent where you can't see it. If I hold it up fairly close to the camera, you can see this guitar's got quite a bit of wear and tear on it. In fact, it almost looks like it could be a 70s original. It's that beat up. Also got the wrong switch tip on it. The original top hat switch tip went flying at a gig, couldn't find it. I had a spare one of these, so it's had a barrel on ever since. So what's it sound like? Well, it's got humbuckers in it. The humbuckers are not reproductions of the original wide range Fender humbuckers. They look like they are, but they're not. Underneath they're more like a path. So it doesn't sound exactly like a 72 Thinline would have done. Or like one of the modern USA or Mexico reissues would, they actually have wide range humbuckers in. Here's the bridge pickup on a clean setting. Middle setting. And the bridge pickup. grit, again through the crunch channel of the Laney IRT20. Middle pickup setting. And the bridge pickup. So there you have it. A 1998, crafted in Japan, 72 Thinline reissue. Cheers!